Okay, hello everyone. So today we are working on an RV. Again, this was the next segment. I was talking previously about the rotted floor in the slide out, and in here is the master bedroom, and as you can see it has delaminated from here and on the other side. So we're going to be removing the wood inside. Today we're going to be showing you step by step in segments here. Let me go inside and I'll let you see. So we'll take a look here. We're already starting to take things apart. So here is the bed, the master bedroom here, and as you can see we've removed the carpet here, and back in the corner, because of the window leaks, you can see it's already, I can put my fingers right through, falling right through. So this needs to be replaced because it is holding up the whole slide and your bed, and you definitely do not want to fall through unexpectedly one evening. So the bed will be needing to come out first. We're going to be also replacing the toe kick here, opening this up all in here right along the whole thing, and re-insulating, and I believe the floor here is rotted also, and we'll be cutting that back and putting in a new piece. So we'll see what that brings as we open everything up, so we will see you in the next segment. Okay, so now in the next segment here, as you can see, we've removed the bed, we've removed portions of the flooring to expose the actual rot that's going on in the subfloor in front of the slide, and of course inside where I've shown you where the toe kick is, that's going to be completely opened up, and we are going to find, I'm sure, a lot of rot in there and, you know, insulation that has to be replaced. Then we will repanel it. As you can see, the deck of the slide out is totally rotted on each corner, which is not good. So that's where it's going to, it's, you know, it's too far gone. You have to replace it at this point. Okay, so we will see in the next segment and get on to opening up the floor and the slide base. Okay, so in the next segment here, as you can see, we are removing all of the wet, it's pink insulation that has been in here from new, of course. And there's a seal that is normally over top of it, but it's soaking wet, and a very thin panel, and also foam for insulation in here, but it is all rotted. So we'll pull out everything, and this is the type of insulation, and we will be putting this all back new, of course. You can start to see what the underneath looks like. As I say, it's good for, you know, anybody that's going to try and tackle a job like this on their own, to see step by step what you're getting into and what you need to do. Okay, so I hope this part's helping everybody so far. We'll see you in the next segment. Okay, and so what you want to do is also, you know, you want to make sure all your carpet, everything that was moldy has been removed. We've got the air conditioning on, helping to dry up areas a little bit before we start cutting out all the rotted area. And, you know, you work on one thing at a time. Today we'd like to try to repair the floor below the slide. Tomorrow will be the slide edge. You want to do one thing at a time. That's another segment coming up, but stick with me, you'll see the rest here. Okay, so now you can see in the next segment here, we've marked out the floor where we're going to do our cut. And in this case, we've come around the support here, because the support isn't too bad, it's just in front of it where it's all rotted, and we've come up and come across. So as we get this opened up, we will show you in the next segment. Okay, so now you can see now where the complete cutout has been done. The old foam has been removed. Mind you, the flooring, the subfloor is glued onto the original foam floor, and underneath really is just a very thin rubber membrane here to the underneath of the trailer. Okay, so now what we're going to have to do next here, as you can see, there is the blue foam still under and flush. We're going to undercut about 1/2 inch under all the way around everything, so that I can fit in 2x3 underneath all the way around, so that we're able to have half riding the original subfloor riding on the 2x3, and the new subfloor, everything screwed together so it has something to sit on top of, for a complete solid structure. and it will be connected to the original structure here directly across. Okay, so we will be insulating directly after, which you'll see in the next segment here while we do the structure, and then cut the piece to close up the whole floor. Okay, so we'll see you in the next segment. Pulling out all the foam here, almost ready for the supports to be cut and installed. Then we will do the installation. Okay, now you can see the structures have already been started to be installed. Nothing has been screwed in yet. Okay, fully supported floors. We're working on the other side at the moment, and we will get back to you in the next segment with the installation installed also. Okay, so now let's take a look. Everything has been framed up and insulated. Okay, and then the back toe kick insulation here will get another piece, which is that thick. Will be going over top of the whole area, and then we'll have paneling finishing that off afterwards. So the next segment here, we are getting ready right now to cut plywood to fit back in, and we will see you in the next segment. Okay, so the 3/4 plywood has been installed now. Everything fits flush, very nice. And in here we cut it here in this seam here, and made a notch for the wiring to be able to fit. And as you come across here, we made one other cut here because we couldn't fit the whole piece in on its angle unless you remove the big lags here and lift this up. So this is just works as well. Everything's nice and strong right on top of the new structure. And tomorrow we will be installing the thin 5/8 foam on top of the fascia here to finish that whole face off and installing the panel. We'll see that in the next segment. So what we're doing next here is we're cutting about 6 inches up in the paneling here just above, so we can expose the frame in here and whatever screws are supporting the walls onto the base, so we can get that out, and then we'll be removing the plywood and foam in the bottom of the slide. So we'll see you in the next segment. Okay, so here you go. We have the top 1/8 cut out, and it is a complete aluminum frame that this whole box is constructed out of. So we have removed the rotted 1/8 on top. We're going to re-insulate in between the aluminum, okay, so that everything is flush when we put in back the new 1/8. Okay, and that's where my fingers were falling through here in the corner. When the 1/8 was on top, my hand was going right through there. But we've determined that the aluminum framing is sitting correctly on here. There's nothing, no structure damage or anything, so that's good. So we will be insulating and closing it up with the paneling, and we'll show you that in the next segment. Okay, so now we have finished the insulating now, right into the corners where it was falling through also. There wasn't any insulation there, so we put the insulation in, and then we will be installing the new 1/8 panel. So on this side, okay, to fit back over top of that, okay, to close that up. Then we'll be reinstalling the new paneling to go directly around the bottom of the wall of the slide, and everything will be back in order. And then we will use tape, white tape, to close up the seam afterwards. So then on top of this, then next will be the 3/4 plywood to give it that extra strength right on top where the bed platform will be sitting, and we'll see you in the next segment. Okay, so now we have the paneling all in. Okay, we have new pieces that the old pieces were rotted, so we put in some new pieces here all the way around. It's already taped with the seam tape. This panel on the other side here was good still, so we put that back for the owners. And the next thing is this product here is the foam. Okay, that's how thick it is. It's about 5/8 is what it is, and that is what has to connect back to the existing one, and we've got to build that back up to the exact height of the regular wall, and then we're going to be installing the paneling over top of that to finish off the front toe kick under the bed. Okay, so when that's all done, we'll see you in the next segment. Okay, so in this next segment here, you can see now the foam has been added in completely underneath the toe kick of the slide and fit tightly back under the existing wall, because this is where it's going to connect. The new panel is going to be fitting under here and cut exactly to fit back in here to close everything off. Okay, so everything is going very well here. Nice and strong, insulated, and mold completely gone. So we'll see you in the next segment. Okay, so the paneling has been installed now underneath and taped off and connected back to its original connector on the end to the other panel. Now we have cut our plywood, completely installed but not screwed down yet. Okay, and you've got a nice 3/4 floor on top of the existing one, and no chances of ever getting a weak floor in the slide out underneath the bed. So we'll see in the next segment. Okay, so here is the almost finished area now. We have installed the rest of the 1/8 white panel in here just for a nice clean look for the owners here that we had left over from the other pieces of paneling that we've done everywhere else, so why not use it up, right? So we are almost ready now to install the bed. Everybody understands now how this is done. We've also had a couple of little rotted spots inside some cabinets that we had to remove. This one was a little tricky because of the water lines, but that is a nice solid floor now with no mold. Okay, so we will see in the next segment. Okay, and here we are, the finished bedroom area now. Nice and clean and strong, 3/4 plywood in there is always the best. On top of the existing, just gives you so much more support. Okay, completely finished off, nice and neat. Quick look inside the bed. Okay, very nice and clean. And the owners are very happy and got it done at a lower cost instead of doing it in a more expensive way that could have been done and saved some money. Okay, so we will see in the next segment here as I close up the corners on the outsides of the slide. So now we're outside at the slide here at the bottom where it has delaminated. Okay, and you'd want to use 100% silicone. And what I like to do is fill the void as much as possible inside with silicone, and it will also bond it too, but we're going to be putting an edging on here which is going to keep that completely compressed but watertight at the same time. So after you've siliconed the seam inside where it's delaminating, then here's your edging that you're going to be using, which I find is the best, and this is at the product you can get at Home Depot. So the next step, get your silicone and a nice bead along inside, and then slide it in behind there. It will hit against, there's a small piece of aluminum that's a stopper, and it will sit right against that, and you're basically right flush there. You've got a great seal, no chance of any moisture getting in whatsoever, but we will seal the top afterwards and the bottom. But we're going to be installing the screws here, and we'll show you that in the next segment. What you want to do is just pre-drill first. Okay, then we'll add the screw. And the same directly all the way across. So here we go with both sides now. The edging is on and completely locked in with the silicone in there, completely watertight, and that cures all of the delamination issues, and that will never come apart again. As I say, that's on both sides. And now I'm going to silicone all the seams now. Okay, so that's all sealed, and remember to seal the edge all the way up, okay, and across. And then you're assured that nothing's going to leak again. Okay, so we'll see you in the next segment. So now I have completed all the silicone. So what you want to do is get a nice bead across there. you know, I've got enough silicone in there as it is that it's totally waterproof, but you just want to make sure that's completely sealed after you've done all this work. And also the underneath completely sealed, and I sealed around the original tape that's there just to make sure. And same on the other side, everything watertight and great for the RV owners. So I hope this has helped, and everybody understands how to do this now. Please like and subscribe and share. Thank you. Have a great day.